Welcome back, everyone, to Cranston, Rhode Island, and the Bowlero Cranston. I was going to say Bowlerama Cranston, but Bowlero Cranston, as it's now called, for NEBA number 970, only 30 away from NEBA number 1000. Chris Forey, how you doing?
I'm great, Bruce.
And Bruce Hall here, NEBA Turbo, driven to bowl over-under doubles. Match play semifinal. We have moved our Mevo, and our feature pairs are now 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. These are pairs that have had the qualifying bowled on them, but not any finals games, so they should be a little bit tighter, a little bit easier to play, not as deep, but we'll see what happens.
9 and 10 curves.
And 9 and 10 hooks like crazy, and we'll see how that goes. And
especially lane 10.
We're trying to untether ourselves because we left our table here up around 13 and 14, so we're going to have to stand and maybe stand on the left a little bit, watch these matches. So let's talk about who's bowling who. It is number 1 seed Chris Monroy and Stephen Major winning a squeaker every match last round close, Chris.
They were great matches.
So everybody, just every match down to the 10th frame. And here is Joe Scianna and Anthony Fusco.
Fusco starting us out. And Anthony, I tell you what, he finished strong in 10th frame. All three flush.
He sure did. And look at how long that goes. He was looking for more hook. Didn't get it. Once again, these pairs have not seen the 2 extra finals games. They've only had the 5 qualifying games on them. The other match is Tariq Joyner and Mark Bouchard. And they are up against Steve Blanchette and Jimmy Sicard. So we'll be watching these matches closely. Thank you so much to Turbo Grips, Turbo Driven to Bowl, for sponsoring our event. And tomorrow we'll have the Grog Monster Sports Doubles with GMS Decorative Concrete adding money to the prize fund. And so still time to enter that event. Grab your partner. And a nice showing today by the defending champions Brian Gaskell and Brian Bogosian. Made it through to the last round. They were beaten in a tight match, as they all were, by the Blanchette-Sicard team.
So the one thing I can tell you, 9 and 10, from past experiences, lane 10 curves a lot more. 10
curves. You know, I found that even on the left, there were some pairs where I had 3 or 4 boards difference.
And 8 hooks more than 7.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, was it a trend that the right lane hook more than the left?
It's just those pairs.
Because
we bowl so much on those pairs in the semis and the finals every time.
Okay.
It's just a little bit more where, particularly lane 8 definitely hooks a little bit earlier. Same with lane 10.
Once again, the pattern is called Shimwrecker.
Great name.
You can look it up. It's got a really skinny little a strip of oil down lane. It's 47 feet long. Skinny little strip of oil between 15 and 15, which supposedly might represent some hold, but the thing is that there's just not enough defined hook outside to make it easy. It's supposed to be an 8.42 to 1 pattern. It does not play anywhere near that easy because you just don't have the recovery outside, Chris, as you let it out. So
I think he's flustered by the headset.
Oh, are you, we're laughing at our. We're at full strength here. Let me welcome.
It's just funny.
Brian Gaskell into the booth. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, boys?
Great bowling today.
For a while.
Did you?
Last game caught up. What ball did you change to? Was that a hybrid?
Stellar.
Hybrid? Oh, Stellar. I thought from the side here, this distance, I thought it was a Zenith hybrid.
Yeah, that pair was extra crispy. Let's just call it. That was. Hook
now, you were up on 17 and 18, right?
No, 21 and 2? 19 and 20?
19 and 20. 17 and 18 wasn't too bad. But 19 and 20 was... 19, 20 was about an arrow more, and unfortunately the ball return comes into play eventually, and I didn't have the guts to go stand in front of it. I haven't done that in
I saw your
years.
I saw your left hip nudging up against the ball return, and I said, we should get a picture of that because we may never see that again. We see it today, and we...
You're trying to say I can only play out?
No, I'm saying you're most comfortable out.
So
but I'd say you played very well in today. I think you should have more confidence.
No, I'm happy.
There,
but Stephen came over to me during qualifying. He said, I thought you could only bowl on 37 feet. I said, no, 37 and 47. It's just everything in between I can't bowl on.
All the sevens are fine. So if there was a 27
the right gutter or left gutter, nothing in between.
Yes, exactly.
27 feet, you'd be fine.
But no, it was fun. glad we got a chance to defend. The board came through and grandfathered us in. Even though I'm
the right thing
technically 50 now, and we gave it a run. I mean, we shot 490 the last game just to make it, and
you bowled great today.
Did what we could do. Thank you.
Bowled great today.
Thank you.
I mean, the shots.
You were throwing it very well
in the first match. Your hand was in a much better spot than sometimes you're really outside. Your hand was more on the inside of the ball, and your ball was rolling and revving harder.
And there's Fusco.
It's been a while, but I'm starting to figure this out.
It looks like you're starting to get a little feel of getting your elbow a little bit more inside.
Elbow, I don't fly my elbows much. Once in a while, but.
Well, you were with that power torque the game before, right?
Yeah.
That was going in and around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks strong.
I'll tell you who's looking strong, though, has been Monroy so far, because he has not given up the pocket.
Oh, we bowl next to him all day. I haven't seen him miss the pocket yet.
His ball, he's just tumbling it, and I told Bruce his break point is the 3-pin.
Like, he threw a shot, I want to say it was either game 4 or game 5. He threw it, and he threw his hands up in the air, and he left a stone 9. I'm like, wow, if that's his bad shot, then that's pretty good.
I mean, like right there, he leaves a flat 10, but his ball's just never getting right of like 15. And honestly, doesn't get right at 15, so he gives himself 2 boards of break to get to the pocket, and it's whether it goes to the pins the right way. Great shot by Jimmy.
Jimmy Sicard has that really strong wrist position.
Jimmy gets way underneath the ball.
Through it, yeah. So Tariq Joyner and Mark Bouchard, who's the under?
Oh, Tariq's the under.
Okay, just checking.
I think Mark's got to be about 53 or 54 by now.
And Tariq's got to be in his 40s, right?
I honestly have no idea.
I don't think so.
I think Tariq's in his 30s.
Yeah, is he? Okay.
I would say so.
No offense.
I was going to say probably about 32, I think he is.
Yeah. I consider Mark just really young. That's all I guess what I'm thinking. So, and there's a 9-pin for Mark.
Yeah, I think Mark's probably about 54.
So, no opens yet. Oh, yes, we had an open, Bouchard open in the first.
Okay, missed a 2-8.
That's right, he went by it. Here's Major. Now, actually, you can see on the
a little flat there,
10,
too.
You can see the equipment there on lanes 5 and 6. Lane 5 was giving us fits all day, and all the caps are off lane 5 as well.
They're replacing all the track.
They had a huge track problem where the balls were jumping off the track, and they had to unscrew the caps and retrieve the balls from inside the track all day. It cost us basically a game, and Chris, you were doing some gymnastics along with Danny to move the teams around to try to get us through that block, right?
I think we did I think 20 minutes after the
could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse. So, and most people didn't even know anything was going on.
Well, we knew because we found out. We found after our first game. Well, they tell me what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
They said
I'm glad you knew
the original team.
I'm not on the board anymore.
I was going to say the original team has finished their second
Let's
frame.
Let's put it this way.
Here we go.
We were done with our first game, and they were in their second frame.
Second frame.
Yeah, second frame. Yeah. So beautiful shot there.
They were in their second frame. It happened again. So then I said, so Danny, Chris, and I said, they're like, what should we do? I'm like, it's simple. They move to their second pair where they can start bowling game 2. They come back and bowl their game
at the end.
At the very end.
Yep.
Let them work on the lane, and then we worry about how it goes from there. So it worked out, and Danny did a lot of shuffling. Game 3 had something. He came over. He goes, hey, now I have a real backup. I said, just there's got to be an open pair somewhere because obviously people are moving. There's an empty pair. Put the people that are waiting on the empty pair. Let's just get going. And I hear him, and nobody complained about it, so it was good.
So meanwhile, Stephen Major flagged a 10-pin.
Oof.
And Blanchette was able to put a double together. Once again, we're here in Cranston, Rhode Island. Another beautiful day, and thanks to everybody for tuning in. It is NEBA. Look at that voodoo roll by Anthony Fusco. Looks like he balled up on this pair to a gem.
Okay, I say because originally he was throwing a Ultra Reality.
Yeah, that gem is a lot smoother and a lot
shot
sooner.
by Bouchard, a little more direct up the lane that time.
Yeah, definitely. So tomorrow's the regular doubles. Guess who's your partner?
Jimmy Pritz.
Nice. Good get.
It's a good problem to have when you can bowl with 2
sure is.
PBA. Well, I don't know. I guess technically Brian's not considered a PBA champion because he wasn't a member when he won, but we all know he won. So.
Well, he won the Masters.
Right,
I
don't think if you go on PBA.com, it's not there. It's like it never happened.
Doesn't get a banner.
I know he didn't.
So, but I'm still going to say I'm bowling with 2 PBA champions this weekend, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, that's tomorrow. That's going to be the Grog Monster Sports and GMS Decorative Concrete also adding to that prize fund. Thank you so much, guys, for that. July 16th and 17th, guys, we go to Callahan's Bowlerama. They're adding
a lot of money,
$4,000 to that prize fund. $2K personally from Lisa Callahan, as well as a $2,500 general sponsorship. So $4,500 added money in the Callahan's event. That's July 16th and 17th. After that, we move to Keene, New Hampshire for a weekend of sun and fun. July 29th is the golf. July 30th is the Keene doubles. And July 31st is the Keene singles. There may even be some poker and some other stuff in between. Thanks so much to Jeff Barton. Saw Jeff here today. Was he bowling? Was he?
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff was bowling today.
Tommy Coleman, I believe.
All right, good for him. And they were adding $1,000 to each of those prize funds, so thanks so much to Jeff.
Oh, 4-9 now.
Wow. After that, we have the senior August 20th at Hall of Fame Silver Lanes, as well as the women's event at Hall of Fame Silver Lanes, sponsored by Chicago Sam's and BowlingSeriously.com, respectively. Then we have the Masters event, and that's on August 21st on that Sunday. So it's qualifying Sunday morning for the Masters, and that will be a major. The Renauds saw Tony Renaud here today. Great to see Tony back in the action, and he looked back literally tanned and rested. I hear he had 60 rounds of golf under his belt, so good for him. The Renauds and GMS adding 1,000, and Roger Burrell and Bluefield Electric adding 2,500 to that prize fund. Then September 17th and 18th, please mark your calendars to honor my father, Vincent Hall. It will be the Vincent Hall Memorial. Over under doubles. You can bowl with anyone you want relative to titles, as NEBA titles go. And we'll be adding 6,000 to that prize fund. That's going to be fun. Then October 1st and 2nd, we have singles at East Providence. That will be the KR Strike Force event there. Then we have a senior at Yankee Lanes as well as women at Yankee Lanes. This is at Manchester. And this is another event that Jeff Barden has put on the schedule for us. His other Yankee Lanes outlet there in Manchester, New Hampshire. And we'll have singles there. Senior women and singles October 22nd and 23rd. November 12th, non-champs at Auburn. November 13th, TOC at Auburn, sponsored by DJ Pro Shop and Storm Roto and Global 900 respectively. And then we wrap up the year December 10th and 11th with a senior at Norwich and the singles at Norwich, sponsored by Better Bowling Concepts and Ideal Bowling Concepts. So guys, we have a great schedule coming out. We're back to full strength in our schedule this year. We've put all this crazy pandemic stuff behind us, and we're now having a regular year of NEBA, and it is so exciting. And we had a sold-out crowd today. I'm expecting the doubles tomorrow to do also very well. So very, very happy with the turnouts and everything that's been going on. Sorry to monologue, guys. Just trying to get the sponsor read in here.
Didn't miss much. Only a couple frames.
Only a couple frames. Well, tell us.
Scan a 2-8 there, spare. I mean, the big shot in that match was Steven leaving a 4-9. Bouchard here, chopping to 2-4-5.
Chop that.
Oh, sorry.
And what are our scores now, Chris?
Currently, the Fusco team is up by 20. Well, more than that, 35 with the open frames. And
oh yeah, Fusco double with no opens.
Yeah, so 30.
And Monroy with 2 opens. So
yeah,
that's 30 plus count. Yeah, so
yeah.
35. Yep. Early hold by the number 1 seeds.
And then I'd say 40. I'm going to say 31 pins. Well, 30.
This is Fusco looking
pins.
for 3 in a row with that gem and tips the 6-pin. Excuse me, the 4-pin won't carry it though.
This is a big shot by Tariq here.
Tariq
because,
looking to triple up here.
They're down by 30.
Down 30. They have 2 opens. And gets it.
Great shot.
2 opens now. The triple gets them back to about even. But they're down 20-30. So about a 30-pin match there. So 2 30-pin matches here. Where the other matches were all dead even. Hey, guys, we never picked a champion of the round of 8.
We did not.
I didn't get a chance.
I think he was bowling. He would have picked himself.
I think you would have picked yourself. Well, who do you like now, guys? Your chance to redeem yourself. Now that we have 30-pin leads, of course.
Yeah,
by 2 of the teams, but
yeah,
who do you like? shot.
I was going to say it's hard to pick against
Blanchette.
either Monroy or Blanchette just because they're keeping the ball
I'll take
more
the
in play.
team that knocked us out.
I'd agree. They're keeping the ball up the middle of the lane. They're not going left to right too much.
Well, Sicard Jimmy has that strong hand, and Steve just looks great.
Steve's been bowling great in the senior tournaments that's been going on, the Sembas. So
back in the day when we used to send the newsletter out every month, you always wanted the guy that knocked you out to win. So you
got mentioned.
You got your name was in the newsletter.
Yeah, I lost to the.
I agree.
Yeah. Then they defeated da-da-da-da-da, and that was your name, right? So
he always wanted to see your name.
Well, I always felt better just losing to the winner. I lost to the person with the best look. So,
funny story real quick, and we can focus on the matches. But I want to say, back when we used to go to Malden all the time, that was my home house. I think I lost to the eventual winner in Malden like 8 out of 9 years. Like literally. It could have been the first round. I'm not saying I made it deep every time.
At least you got there, right?
But if I got
honored.
Like I lost to Rudy there, he won.
Rudy Revs.
Yeah, he did. There's a bunch of guys. I can't think of half of them now. It's been 30 years, but literally 8 out of 9 seasons in a row, I lost to the guy that won. John Ellis was one.
Well, I'm going to buck the trend. I do like the Blanchette-Sicard team.
I just like that they're playing a lot straighter together.
Stevie, as long as Stevie doesn't get it right early. If Stevie gets it right early, it checks out. But if he doesn't get it right in the front of the lane, he's got a great shot.
But just to be a contrarian, I'm going to pick
Fusco?
Nope, I'm going to pick Monroy. And I know they're down, but I think they're going to figure this pair out. I think they're going to come back. I think they're going to put some pressure on those guys, and they're going to start striking.
Well, there's a
and my prediction brings about a 4-7-10 for Joe
the jinx the other direction.
There you go. That's right. That's the announcer's blessing right there. It works in reverse.
That's pretty good, right up the middle.
That's pretty.
See if he keeps it in that trough right there.
It's pretty good.
Oh, he's playing a hook stop.
Yeah, I don't see those guys getting beat. Then we move to 11 and 12, which again is another quote-unquote fresh pair, only having had the 5 qualifying games.
Yeah, and it was the last game that was bolded. There was some big scores.
Yeah,
looking at the scores that are up there now.
Yeah.
I would say the concern here would be Jimmy. Jimmy's ball's a little bit more left to right, so a couple of times his ball hasn't quite got there. So Tariq's balling great,
keeping him in the hunt here. Skiana settles for the 2.
So let me ask you guys, while we're still early in this round, because they're still in like the 4th or 5th frame over there, and I obviously wasn't listening to the first couple of rounds. And while we are in a Bowlero center, guys,
Jimmy, 4-5-7.
Talk about that new PBA league deal at all?
We have not.
I don't even know anything about it.
No, we have not. It's basically if you're a Bowlero league bowler, you get your stats tracked. You get awards. You get other things a la USBC style benefits. They hired Neil Stremmel to do some equipment testing, so they appear to be kind of horning in on a little bit of USBC's territory there relative to leagues.
Which means they wouldn't have to pay the USB. They wouldn't pay the proprietor fees. Well, they just wouldn't become a. They would.
Would they? I don't know.
How many centers they own? 400.
Yeah, 3, whatever.
So you take out that money out of the BPAA. And you have your own thing.
Well, and you don't pay to USBC certify those centers. But then, would you join the USBC as a league in a Bowlero center to have the USBC league benefits? That's the next question. So no, the answer is we haven't really got into it.
I don't know that much about it either. I was just curious. That's all. I was just looking at the wall and I saw the sign. I'm like, you know what?
I was trading some private messages with Jeff Riggles, and Jeff is obviously,
anti-USBC.
No, I wouldn't say that. He's anti-Chad, that's for sure. Well, he's got a real. He would like to see a change of leadership there. But we went back and forth. My comment to him was, I don't think this is much about the PBA, poking the USBC in the eye, as it is about trying to protect their league revenue. I think they want to show league bowlers that they care about them. I think they want to show.
They pushed them all out for so long.
Well, exactly. I think they started off by having not a good attitude about league bowlers, and now they realize how important they are. And I think they're really trying to make moves in the right direction. So I really think it's Bowlero trying to protect their league bowlers as much as trying to edge out USBC. That's my official position.
I'd agree with that.
I don't have a comment because I don't know that much about it, but I was just curious if it came up. That's all.
Yeah. Meanwhile, these guys are still striking. Tariq packs another one, and let's see how Blanchette does. I kind of don't like to see it. I think the last thing we need is more division in the game.
I agree.
You divided we fall, guys. It's just it's kind of like, gee, let's have the left-handers and the two-handers run their own tournaments. And I'm like, you can't do it. There's not enough there's not enough people. There's not enough critical mass. So I think we got to really think about how we band together. And great shot.
Stevie
B. Shot
While
by
we're in like the
Steve.
seventh frame, I'll just make
Packing it.
one quick comment. I said this outside to Tony Renaud and the guys when they were talking to me. When I talked to Chad Murphy, I said this to him 10 years ago when he took over, a little bit over that. I said, your job is to govern our sport. And it hasn't been governed in a long time.
That's true.
You know, and so he is governed. And unfortunately, when you govern, people aren't going to like what you do. And other people will. And so for as much as people like to go on Facebook and complain about things about bowling, and then when things get changed and they don't like the change either, well, you can't have it both ways. So
that's true.
If you're asking them to govern, that's what they're doing.
I think they've. And again, this is a live stream for NEBA, not.
That's all right.
Not a podcast about USB.
Good conversation, though.
You know, but I guess my thing is, I think they've done some things in ways they're really easy to criticize. That's let me put it that way.
There could have been better ways of handling.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You know, and again, you've said that before, and I really respect that take on it. You know, because you're right. Anytime you govern, you don't make anybody happy because you're putting limits and restrictions on things because you're trying to maintain the integrity of the game, and people want it. They want to loosen all that stuff up.
I think the
which
integrity
does worry me a little bit about. Which worries me a little bit about Neil Stremmel coming on and working for the PBA. Like, what specs are they going to put out, and how are they going to rein in balls? How are they going to slow down excessive diffs and things? What are they going to do?
And whose rules do you follow?
And who's right? You know, who do you?
That's
they're already different relative to what balls you can use where.
Yep.
You know, relative to USBC versus nationals versus PBA events and so forth. So it just adds more confusion to it.
Well, that was my point outside to everybody. I'm like, you need somebody that governs, because after that, whose rules do you follow?
Right. And good shot there by Scianna. So yeah, so this could be the all things bowling podcast we could be doing here. So.
Well, we have plenty. The great thing about the doubles matches, you have time.
Yeah, there's a little bit of time. I even got through the sponsor read in a couple of frames.
And look, I'm sure there are people at home that saw the press release and don't really understand it, because I read through it.
I just saw it.
I know a guy that runs a league in Lowell in one of the Bowlero centers, and he has no idea
what to do now.
Has no idea.
Well, and there are some details that the PBA is not filled in. You know, like if you're in a non-Bowlero center, could you join? And
like I thought, I'll be first.
You know,
honestly, the first thing I thought of when I saw it was, is this gonna be like the Live Golf and the PGA thing? Like if you bowl in a Bowlero center, you can not allowed to be USBC sanctioned unless you bowl somewhere else. Well, but I guess that's not the case.
If they want to send me $200 million to go bowl in a league in a Bowlero center, I'll take it. You know, that's fine with me. And there's Fusco with the
flat 10.
Flat 10 had the voodoo roll, though, almost went.
Yeah.
Now let's see if my guys, who I picked to win, even though they're down 30, let's see if they can come back in this match.
They got a lot of work ahead of them.
A lot of work.
But I mean, if you look at it, Scianna is not really lined up. He's got 2 strikes. Fusco's the only one in the pocket. Oh, got it.
Pure power. Tariq Joyner.
Fusco's the only one that's in the pocket every shot over there on that pair. It's like you said, it's a great question, Brian. I mean, it's just like Bruce said earlier. Unfortunately, we're a sport that's always divided, and we need to figure out how to settle down and come together. And I always feel like we're divided more amongst the better bowlers than the normal league bowler. And I'm not trying to put anybody down when I say those words, but the better bowlers are more opinionated as to how they feel the sport should be run, because you have a lot of older folks that I say have been bowling forever, and they want the integrity back, like you said before.
Yeah.
But then when they make changes to get the integrity back, they don't like those changes.
I'm going to tell you something else I said to Jeff Riggles. I said, Jeff,
so we're never going to
Bowlero is a proprietor. Think of them as a bowling proprietor. I think a lot of people don't like the way they're running their centers. I think they're doing a great job. I think they're putting in bars. They understand food and beverage.
Their machines could run better.
Sure. You know, it's like, okay,
well,
whatever. There's plenty to criticize in every bowling center. But they're making money.
They're making money.
They're profitable. They know how to run bowling centers. People that run bowling centers profitably don't like good bowlers. Because good bowlers are 2% of the population.
And they complain
all the time. They always want a discount on their practice, right? They don't want to spend any money in your bowling center, and then all you have to do is try to make them happy. And you can't make them happy. So that's why the PBA thing is also interesting to me, because it now talks to the league bowler, supposedly who's the better bowler, and how they're going to manage that, right? So meanwhile,
Steven just scrambled the rack for a
doubled. And
that was a
Monroy
one bagger by Steven.
Sorry.
The arrow had already switched. That's why.
That's okay. No problem. But you make good points, and that's my point is that we're a sport more divided because we all see it from the higher level bowler, and unfortunately it trickles down to the league bowler that might not ever understand it. To them, they don't care about the differential. They don't care about all that. They just want to go bowl.
They don't know about it. They don't care about it. They want to have fun. They don't want different patterns. They don't want different patterns through the year. They don't want harder patterns. They want to show up, socialize, and they want to score a little bit. So
but the beef we always hear. But unfortunately, the loudest voice comes from the better bowlers.
The vocal minority.
Let's put it this way, and you just triggered me by what you just said, Bruce, about they're making money. And the good news for us is if they're making money, then they're still going to be around.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not losing 100 centers.
When I was just old enough to start bowling, there used to be, I live 5 minutes north of Boston, all right?
20 centers?
There was 25 within a 20 to 25-minute ride at my house at one time.
Sure.
And now there's
4?
None. Well, one that's sanctioned.
Oh, okay.
Boston Bowl. That's it.
And
you can't even bowl a league there because it's the.
Oh, that's wide. Is it going to get up?
A little late for a plaque 10 for Tariq.
So as long as they're going to provide us a place to play, then hopefully
and larger centers too.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me is I think there'll always be 12-lane centers.
I do think you're going to see small or large.
That's what I'm saying. You got to have 40-lane centers to run a NEBA. You got to have 50 or 60-lane centers to fit all the doubles teams we had today, right? So you got to figure all that out and say we got to keep these larger centers open. So anyway, guys, time to focus on the matches. Sure. As fun as this was, maybe we need to do a separate podcast, which we can. But all right, exactly what's going on?
Yeah, you
here.
do. I've never been invited to those.
20 pins.
I know you've had about 4 of them already.
I know, but so you and 400 other people haven't been invited to them. You're right.
You need to come and NEBA sponsor and you get invited.
That's right. That's a good point.
Or your event. You have to have your event.
One out of the other 2 people who are on this podcast have been invited to it. Don't feel bad.
I have a lot of reasons to feel bad today. Had my chance today.
That's the end of that match.
Tariq.
We can say that the card is advancing.
Good point. Yep. Tariq was the
only
hope they had.
The other match is 20 pins, though. So and they got 4 frames to go.
Had my chance to make the final field in the Paul Floyd Memorial Series.
Did.
Blew that today.
You did.
Needed to win one more game.
Speaking of which, hey, Chris, talk about the bowlers that have made this.
I can't even read my own handwriting.
And how there's been only one. So that we're halfway through.
We're halfway through.
Populating our 64 bowlers.
Really, only one duplicate.
Only one duplicate.
Dennis
Bissonette was the only duplicate.
Yeah, so we have, as Bruce was saying, for the Paul Floyd Memorial, we're taking 64 bowlers over the course of 8 bowlers for over 8 different tournaments. Today, Monroe, the 4 teams you see left, all bowlers have advanced to the Paul Floyd Memorial Challenge, the $10,000 prize fund at the end of the year. Again, only one duplicate so far. That'd be Dennis Bissonette.
And that's amazing.
He was one match away from the third. If he won one more match, he would have had a third time.
I know.
Wow.
Out of 32 bowlers who made the top 8 at these 4 events, one duplicate. That's
pretty
remarkable.
Cool. Yeah, I like I told you when we were on the last part of the stream, I thought we'd be like 4 or 5 guys in already. I figured we'd be into the 20s of points thinking of, at the end of the year. So,
and by the way, thank you so much, Chris, for that $10,000 added money and for everything that BuddiesProShop.com does for NEBA. And we're just so happy to have you as NEBA's longest running sponsor.
Well, you're welcome.
Fantastic.
It's been
thank you so much.
It's a treat to get back to, obviously, a club that I've been fortunate to be part of since 98, 99. Prior rules allowed me not to bowl before that, but I gotta say, it's for me personally, it's from a bowling standpoint, it's been the roll it.
It was a huge shot for Major, but he goes light, rides the shim, goes light, and leaves the 2-4.
But from my personal bowling standpoint, NEBA's been the best thing since JBT when I bowled as a junior. I mean, I was a PBA member at one time, but this truly tops. It may be because you and I spoke about this with and nothing against PBA, but we have a say in what happens here. Every member technically has a say.
It's run by and for the bowlers. I mean, a lot of people think there's this cabal of 3 or 4 people at the top that make all the decisions, and the answer is we listen to the bowlers. This is why we run surveys. This is why we listen to input. It's like we really do All the finances are transparent. You see all the numbers that come in and go out.
That doesn't happen in other organizations.
At the end of the year, you see what everybody makes.
Great shot by Joe.
Big shot there by Joe. And
that's a 20-pin match now.
Yeah, with Monroy doubling, are we still at 20?
23 now with Stevens' 8 count.
Well, let me trust but verify exactly where we are with this.
Actually, it'd be with the double be 13.
Actually, the top two guys are exactly tied. So bottom is 106 and the 6 to 97.
So 9 pins.
It's a 9-pin exactly match.
Yeah. So
in favor of.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me. In favor of
Scianna and Fusco.
Scianna. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I mean, NEBA's been great. I mean, I've met people. I mean, I knew a lot of guys already before I ever bowled NEBA. I knew Litch. My brother, I bowled JBTs when my brother's friends with Litch. I knew Viali. My brother bowled with those.
You were from Pennsylvania originally,
I'm from Pennsylvania,
right?
but I bowled in the New England area bowling JBTs, and my brother was older than I was. He bowled with Litch and all those guys, so he was friendly with them, and I knew them. But then, guys like Webb and, Aguiar, I mean, the guys a Jeremy Hartpark.
Monroy to take the lead and does it. And huge shot there by Chris Monroy. Once again with that forward roll. Really never getting outside of the 16 board, Chris.
No, as I said, he's just piping it in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, guys like Jeremy Hartbarger. I mean, obviously from a business standpoint, it's been great for my business too.
Yeah.
To be here, but
well, you got to be really close to the #1 online retailer, would you say? BuddiesProShop.com.
We don't talk about that much, but
you know what I mean.
we're up there.
Well, it's up there. I mean, I don't know if there's any rankings, but
we're in the top 5.
Doing well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so it's been good for us, and it's been good for my bowling career, So I mean, and for that, I'm happy to give back or try and support NEBA as much as possible. So, and I know if my father was alive, he'd want me to do that. So,
well, that's why it's the Paul Forey Memorial. So, and it'll be the Vincent Hall Memorial too in September. So,
big shot for Fusco here.
Huge shot, voodoo roll, boom. Gets it.
So that's still. So Monroy still got the lead, though.
He does. Monroy. Well, he's got the lead by. Let's see. It's good. It's within a pin.
Well, now these 10 pins up on top.
Yeah, 10 pins up on top, and the bottom is actually 9.
So like a 1-pin match.
It's 1-pin match. They're up by exactly 1. So every little
shot by
change
Steven here.
Count. That's left or no? Lays off and packs.
So the big shot now
that would be a double. No, not a double. It just keeps the count.
Joe strikes to take the lead.
That's right. 1-pin match exactly. If Joe strikes here, yes, it goes to 9. They lead by 9, and we have 2 frames left. Anything can happen in that match. Meanwhile, Blanchett and Sicard are in the finals.
They shot a ton.
They're going to shoot
470.
470, 480, and they'll move over to 11 and 12 for the final, as will Armebo. And a little break in the action here on.
Yeah, Joe's doing the action slow play he likes to do when he gets into these matches.
Yeah, here we go. A little,
no shot clock here.
A little bit of
Joe's already re-racked.
Rope-a-dope.
He's re-racked. He's got
here we go. Look at him. He's over. He's playing with his
baby
thumb.
powder.
He's got the baby powder. He's got. Yeah, here we go.
We see this from Joe's matches, though.
Brad Angelo is king at that. He's really good at that. Controlling the pace of the match, they call it.
My father used to tell me, control pace of play.
Nothing illegal about it?
My father says one thing you can control in a match. You can control the pace of play.
And Scianna. Let's see if he didn't psych himself out. Pretty good looking shot. Oh, no, it's left.
He got that right further.
He got that right, and it read hard.
Yeah, if you get it right early now, it's going left.
Red hard to the mid lane, comes up for a 3-pin, and now we'll keep it a 1-pin match. And by the way, both Monroy and Stephen Major on strikes going into the 9th.
Actually, not even that. It's a 2-pin match.
No, it's 2 now.
2 pins.
No, it's 1. I think it was 1. They're 10-pin plus on top, and then they're 9 different on the bottom.
Yep.
So
So while there's nobody throwing a shot here, what do you guys think about the pattern for tomorrow? Any ideas, preconceived ideas? Anyone?
Packy.
So
I'm gonna strap my saddle
On Packy?
on the horse. I'm gonna buckle it in tight.
You're going to bring a whip? You're going to
Right,
carry a whip?
And I'm just gonna.
Well, let me tell you my experience. And again, my friend George Jones was nice enough to put it out for me and Andrew up at Hanscom.
I feel it'd be a little tighter
George
than
is the
last year.
best. And so we punched it in, and because there's no oil outside of 10 or 9 or 8 back to the foul line,
Not
and
playable.
it's short,
It's not playable.
you lay it out there and it hooks. No matter what you throw, it just sparks immediately.
Even a 30-year-old track 10?
Maybe, maybe not. You can try that. But
Okay.
I think you might really like it a lot for that reason. But anyway, I moved in and I swung 12 to 2 and had a decent look.
Yeah.
Not a great look.
Surface still comes into play.
I
though.
think surface comes into play. You got to
Uh,
get it
surface, the
rolling.
lane
It's
surface, I
like
mean.
anything
Yeah,
else.
it's
Well, yeah,
Fusco
it's
for-
soft. Huge shot
That's
by
pretty
Fusco.
good.
And
Flush.
yes, it's
Yeah, I was
Keeps him
bowling.
in the
I bowled
match.
league. I bowled league in Hanscom Thursday night. George told me that he had the pattern in the machine. I was thinking of going by Friday after work, but
I just think the
didn't.
lane surface here is so different
Yeah,
than we see anywhere else.
well, yeah.
The front-
Hanscom is hard.
the
Hanscom is a
front
hard
of the lane
light
just
lane.
looks so much in this building.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
you're, I think, I
would
think you're
say
going to see
even-
what you
well,
saw
Chris,
last year. a
my
little bit.
point, though, Chris, even more so, you've got to get in and get front push. And so even though it's short,
That's pretty good.
Chris didn't like that. Great shot by Monroy. I didn't think he liked it off
So
his
when you
hand.
say last year, you mean the Sunday pattern from last
Sunday
year?
pattern,
Yeah,
which played a little. You had that super hook and it's tighter.
because obviously we won last year on Saturday, and then I walked in
That was
Sunday.
more
I
of a
thought
play.
it was Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday you could play right up the gutter. Sunday you couldn't.
The gutter hooked too much.
Too much.
And then there was too much
Yeah.
oil at 6, 7.
That's
Right.
what I think you're going to have this
I think
year.
so.
Okay.
Actual pack
It looks
is
very similar.
very,
to
very
that.
similar. I think you're going to get
Now,
that
what do
one.
you think about scores, guys? What do you qualifying scores?
I think you're going to see 150 overcut score.
You think that much?
Probably.
Today was
120 to 150.
today
I think
was
at 120 to
171.
1. Yeah, I think 120 at large tomorrow is probably pretty good. 120 to 140.
I think that's high. I honestly think it's high.
Big
Well, it
shot.
depends how it breaks down.
Big
All
shot
right.
by
Well,
We'll see what happens.
somebody's phone just.
I heard a ding.
Yeah, there was a
Somebody
ding.
dinged.
There was definitely a ding back here.
I don't.
And it was a good stop by Steven.
Steven
He,
say hit his leg though, but I definitely heard a ding.
Yeah. I thought it might have been me.
If we can hear it with a headset on, then
I said something in the middle of
Our
his
headsets pick up-
backswing too. So.
Like the really good quality stuff. But yeah, I definitely heard that.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt it happened.
But he didn't say
And
that.
I
He
hope
was,
that's why he stopped. Because
he
that
was
would
saying
have
he
been
hit
a
his
good reason. Yeah.
he was motioning to Monroy. Ball bounced off his knee.
Well, with both top guys striking,
There's a
this
big shot here.
is huge.
Take 11-pin lead.
Looks right. And
Oh.
it goes right and picks up that drive, as
sorry.
you guys said. Snaps across and almost goes Brooklyn. And no, it's a 6-pin.
Yeah, your mistake on this pattern needs to be up the lane.
Right, because it holds. Such as it is. I didn't even see a lot of hold, honestly, if I went up the lane.
Like I said, if you're
You know.
in far enough, there was some. There
was
that
some,
feedback. The
yeah,
problem is now,
right.
can you get to 5, to 7, to 10?
Well,
I left a 5-pin in practice one of the rounds.
We saw
Yeah.
a bunch of 5 pins here at match play.
Forey left an 8-10.
I left an 8-10.
Yeah.
The bite didn't bite.
Bite, no bite. It
It looked like it bit.
It bit, all right.
I thought it bit. I walked it out and everything. I'm like,
As
this is
soon as he
good.
walks back, he goes, bite me.
No, I actually chuckled because I laughed so hard. I was like, that was pretty good.
This is for Sciatta to set himself up in the 10th.
Oh, black 10.
I think it was a ring 10.
I was black.
Was it black?
I was
Okay.
black.
Okay.
That ball was going very straight in the last 10 feet of the lane.
Yeah.
And that's why I said there's a mistake. You do figure,
the,
you try to keep it up the lane and hope you can get the corner out.
That might be the Bobby Fleetwood shot.
That was definitely a Bobby. Bobby's
go.
ball was not.
Oh
hit.
my God!
His ball did not hit very well at all.
I know. I came over to you guys after
That
after
was
you guys. I was trying not to laugh because I'm bowling against him, and I would never laugh. But he said the funniest thing I've ever heard in the middle of a match. He says, "I'm shooting a blind score."
I know. Well, he had 9 nines in a row. Or so he went 8 spare, then 9 nines
He looked
in a
up
row.
at the scores. He says, "I'm
It did
shooting
look
a
like
blind
that.
score."
Yeah.
It did look like a blind score.
All right, 2-pin match now. What do we got?
2
'Cause they
pin.
lost
Monroy's up by 2 if Sciatta makes a spare.
Because he lost a stick on account.
Yep.
2 going in, 2 guys on strikes, 2 guys not.
Sciatta
Doesn't
covers
get
it
any
up.
closer
They're
than
up by
this.
2 pins. Monroy, I mean.
And he does cover,
got it.
no problem
Yep.
for Sciatta. And here we go, kids. Who will start in the 10th? It's Fusco, looks like, on the right with the 2-pin deficit. And then it will be Monroy in the left lane. And that left lane has shown some snappiness. Was it no? The right lane was the one hooking, right?
The right lane
was the one snapping.
8 and 10 both hook if you get it right early.
That's right. And we just saw that on Major Shot. And definitely, this is Lichtenstein-esque pace out here.
We might have to wake Blanchett and Seacott up for the next match.
Get the paddles out.
They were done 20 minutes ago at this point. So.
Well, 3 guys struck on that pair of bunch.
Yeah. I could do another sponsor read if you guys want to kill some time.
Once Skiana gets up, you maybe I'll do it twice.
Yeah, that's right. Fusco gets comfortable. Nice and soft.
That's a little right.
That's
a little right.
Carries it. Huge shot. Tell you, that's
now his ball didn't overreact because the dull dull ball and back a little lower hand rev rate.
We're at such a bad angle. I couldn't tell if he liked it or not. I was kind of watching him instead of the ball.
That definitely got right. Yeah, he got it right. I was like, oh.
So as we sit, an 8-pin lead for the Fusco Skiana team.
Can Monroy get the 10 out again?
And Monroy. Well,
that's up there.
That's no time. Gets it in the pocket. Backs it. Slaps the 10. Indeed, just like you said. He slaps that 10 and gets it. Matches 2-pin lead for the Monroy team again. Doesn't get any better than this, folks.
I mean, for Chris, that's the whole key because he's just playing up and he's just playing that runway.
Yeah.
It's whether he gets the corner out because.
Now, can Fusco do it again? Give himself a chance.
Skiana says he doesn't want to bowl the 10th frame on that lane.
Well, he doesn't have to. But if he wants to win, he does.
Would be advised to give it a try.
There's no rules. He could walk away.
Fusco really taking his time here.
Yeah, he's got more moves than I do, I think, trying to get comfortable.
He usually doesn't shimmy that much normally.
It's big pressure situation.
That's
Lays it out.
Oh,
my God.
Stone 7.
That was not right.
That was so much. I mean, he got that one up the lane a little bit more than his other one, which was where he probably wanted the first one, and stuffs it.
Stuffed to the gills.
That ball was so deep into the pocket.
7, a horrible break for the Fusco Skiana team.
That wasn't a ball going sideways, Stone 7. That ball was flat right into the pocket. That squared up perfectly in front of the pocket.
And now it gives him another pin.
Monroy, keep it in front of him and get the 10 out. That's pretty good.
And Monroy gets it, and that's
pretty
going
good.
to be 13-pin lead now for Monroy.
Somebody should get him one of those Hulk shirts that Jesse Cody has, because he
give him the hands.
He gave that one.
He is doing the the macho.
He was yelling at that one when it was
Today's the best. We worked on his swing a little bit back in December, and today his elbow is perfectly in, which is what we worked on, trying to get his arm close to his body as possible, and he's executing. His ball has been online every shot, as we talked about earlier. Spare for Fusco there. Still big. It still comes down to the anchor, guys. So
but
20, 58,
Monroy's
48.
giving him a 13
That's a 21. That's 21 pins. He's going to beat his guy by.
Well, and he's
if he strikes
got
on the
him
fill.
currently by 8, right? Is that right?
20, 50, 80. Well, he's going to go out for 48 if he fills it up here. So he'd be up by 21 on his guy.
21. So we'll give 21
to the bottom guy.
To
58.
To Major. That's
13 pins. So he'd be up 13.
So he just needs to fill real good count on the mark.
Yeah,
13.
So they're going to be up 13 if he strikes. That's flush.
So Steven needs like 9 spare 9 if Skiana threw them all. Is that right?
Chris Forey giving a standing ovation.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, he's throwing it good. And I know he was down on himself after the last NEBA. So
it looks like a 13-pin advantage.
Up 13.
Yeah, so 9 spare 9 is good.
That would do it.
Skiana strikes
that would do it, right. So it's really about Stephen Major.
It's going to come down to Stephen trusting the ball up the middle of the lane and not
getting it right early. Yeah,
not getting it right. Because you get it right on 7.
So he's
now the
2-8-10
comes into play, not the sideways hook.
98. Yeah. Stephen
just Joe ball changed here.
Wow.
On the right lane. He was throwing a gem on the right lane.
He wants to get up and throw it. He didn't waste any time.
Which is unusual for Joe to get up in front.
Flat
10. That was really
now he'll need a terrible frame.
I think
Steve needs a mark.
Might not even. If he gets 9 in the first ball, might be enough now.
I think 9 out would probably do it.
9's 56. Plus they got 21, so that's 58.
84 is the most.
86.
57.
They had a
70, that'd
13.
He
be
just
enough.
needs 9.
21.
Yeah.
9 out wins by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, I think we just said that. Never question Gaskell. Gaskell is
I'm good at something.
math man.
That's about it.
He's the math man.
Up the lane, that's
Pretty
perfect.
good looking shot.
Uh-oh.
And
Oh, I almost got 8. That was almost 2-8-10.
That could have been a
But he-
2-8-10. Very
Yeah.
close.
Winner, winner.
But that's enough. And it will be our number 1 seed, Chris Monroy, and Stephen Major.
Where are they going to?
Moving on
Right here?
against the Blanchette and Sicard team. That will be on 11 and 12. We will move the Mevo as soon as these guys close it out. Thanks, everybody, for hanging in with us. And should be a very interesting final match coming up of 2 heavyweights. We'll watch these last couple of shots here and sign off. Gas, thanks for hanging with us.
No
Stay
problem.
with the final?
Oh, yeah.
You around? Okay, cool. Here goes Scianna finishing off. An unfortunate flat 10. Would have been enough for Major, but if he strikes, it's a different discussion with Major up there. Maybe squeezing a little more, but no, Major for some reason not finishing, or did he finish? Yeah, Major's got his one more shot. Let's watch that shot, then we'll sign off. And boom. Okay, guys, we'll be right back for the final. Stay with us.